Joining us once again is Interim Police Chief Karen Dietrich. You may follow Fort Lauderdale Police on Facebook, Instagram, and on Twitter. Chief Dietrich, how you doing today?
I'm doing great, Brian. How are you?
Yeah, doing well. And always thinking about you guys, keeping you in our prayers. Know that it's been a difficult time for policing generally. Wanted to ask you a little bit about the level of support. Are you still having the same level of support by the mayor, by the city council?
Oh, absolutely. It's unfortunate with the defunding across the country nowadays, but I'm lucky enough to be in Fort Lauderdale because our mayor, our city council, they've been great. The city manager's been wonderful with us. We're not really seeing or hearing about defunding our police department. I think our officials are very in tune to the community and the people who voted them in, and they know that our community wants more, like better trained officers, better equipment, not less. So we're really lucky to have that good quality relationship with our community.
That's good to hear. And speaking with Miami Police Chief George Kalina on Tuesday, he mentioned that Miami just recently underwent some budget cuts because of revenue declines due to the pandemic. Are you facing a similar situation in Fort Lauderdale?
Yeah, we're really no different from Miami PD or any other PD. I think everybody had to scramble when the pandemic hit, and we ended up putting out a lot of money for masks and gloves and sanitizers and all that to make sure the officers were kept safe the best that they could be. And with that comes money. And in addition, with having the beach, we had to close down the beach, and that takes overtime, and it takes officers to make sure that people aren't getting on the sand. So that money has to come from someplace. So I think we'll all see a little bit of a budget cut across our budgets throughout the city, but we haven't really seen too bad of a budget cut at this point right now.
Well, that's good. And just in terms of, observations and enforcement, are people being more responsible as they're getting out and about?
Yeah, I think they are. We try to have code work with us more, and we try to educate as opposed to enforce as much as we can. But I think most people they're following the rules, and our businesses are following the rules. And again, because we have such a good relationship with our businesses and everything, it's not too bad here in Fort Lauderdale.
All right, well, that's good. And one of the things I'm always worried about, we need to make sure we have as many good cops as possible. And, recruitment. How is recruitment in Fort Lauderdale right now?
Well, our recruiting, similar to everybody's industry right now, we're not immune from the struggles. The COVID pandemic has definitely caused us issues, and we're having to figure out ways around it. We're trying to do virtual oral boards and stuff like that. There's been a decrease in college fairs and schools where we would normally go do presentations, so those aren't available to us. But we're finding different things to do during this time. Like right now, the one thing we're working on is we've always had an issue with some candidates with swimming. So we're taking this time right now. I have a supervisor assigned, and we're trying to figure out a way to offer swimming testing for people who don't know how to swim, so they can apply, learn how to swim during the background process, and then prior to getting a job, we can go ahead and administer that test to them. So we just don't want to lose qualified candidates for something like that.
Yeah, it's smart. What's your message to somebody who had maybe thought about policing, but, take a look at the lay of the land, the way things are right now, and, pointing in a different direction? Why would somebody who maybe has options want to enter policing at this point?
Policing is still a very noble profession, and we have noble police officers here. And the people in the community know who would make the best police officer candidate. So we like them to send those people to us. You got to get off of really the social media and the news sometimes and interact with people so that you can see that it's not everything that social media or the news hypes us up to be. We're not all bad. We have very, very big hearts. In fact, that's one of the things we're trying to do right now is we do a segment here on Fridays, and it's basically showcasing the human side of our officers. And the last one we did, we had a sergeant who actually donated a kidney to a perfect stranger. So, we have hearts that are bigger than life, contrary to some people's belief. But it's very humbling when people do show us appreciation, respect. Other than 6 months ago, right now, if somebody says hello or buys us a cup of coffee, it means more than anything in the world right now.
I'm just so sad that it has come to that for you. But, it's great to know that there are people that are stepping up. And, just to kind of put a period on what Chief Dietrich is talking about, just always remember every day you got approximately 800,000 people in law enforcement across this country. And if there's anything, even remotely bad that news media can latch onto, it's out there everywhere these days. What does that tell you about how many incredible people leave their families, put on the badge, go to work, never knowing what the heck's going to happen, and they keep us safe? So it's such an important message. So I'm sorry, go ahead, Chief.
I was just going to say, we have to deal with the COVID stuff as well. And I just read this morning that over 100 officers have died of COVID. And that's more than combining the felonious acts and the car crashes since last September, which is crazy.
I'm actually working on that story. I do it Fridays for my other show in West Palm Beach, protecting the Palm Beaches. And I was beyond saddened just to see where we stand, just to give you an idea on that. Where are we at right now in terms of the relative risk for police officers? You mentioned over 100. It is the leading cause of death this year for law enforcement. And 77% more law enforcement professionals have lost their lives in the line of duty this year than at the same time last year. To give you an idea of how much more risk is out there, we have 102 widows, 245 children who've lost a parent. It is an incredible sacrifice that so many people have made that often gets lost in the nonsense that you hear about in the news day to day. So, Chief Dietrich, Labor Day weekend, obviously big weekend coming up. Then the concerns about the virus and everything else. What are your thoughts about the weekend?
We definitely have increased number of officers on the beach. We're including a lot of motor officers and drug dogs and Marine units. We welcome families to come to the beach, enjoy our beaches. They definitely need to keep COVID in mind before you put your blanket down on the beach of keeping some social distance from the people next to you. It's going to be difficult because there's going to be a lot of people who want to come to our beach. But at the same time, we're prepared for those who believe they're going to come to the beach and disrupt traffic or not conduct themselves in a manner that's not family friendly with fighting or drinking or drugs. We're ready for everything, but we do want the citizens to come and enjoy our beach. There will be no alcohol allowed on the beach. Sun and alcohol mixed does not make for a good ending sometimes.
Understood. Well, thank you so much. This is Fort Lauderdale's Interim Police Chief Karen Dietrich. May God bless you, everybody who serves with you. We do appreciate it.
Thank you very much, Brian. We appreciate it.
You bet.